We're discussing testing documentations and what are the different types of testing documentations are required. Will be discussed that one. So testing documents are prepared at different stages of the software development life cycle. So at first one is our before testing, next one is our while being tested, and another one is the after testing. So there are mainly three testing documentations are required. So let me go for one by one. So at first I am going to discuss before testing documentation. So testing starts with the test case generation and following documents are needed for the reference. So when the test cases will be generated, then this particular documentation is required. So first one is the SRS document, which will depict the functional requirement which is there in the respective documentation. Next one is the test policy document. So this describes how far testing should take place before releasing the product. And the last one is our test strategy document, and this mentions detailed aspects of the test team responsibility matrix and the rights responsibility of test manager and the test engineer. So that's why here we are dealing with different types of authentications and different type of responsibilities which will be carried out by the multiple personnel. So that will be kept in the test strategy documentation. So next one we are going to for this before testing and continuing with this one, and that is the last one, that is a traceability matrix document. So this is SDLC document which is related to requirement gathering process, and as new requirements come they are added to this matrix, and these matrices help tester to know the source of the requirement and they can be traced forward and backward. So whenever in case of the requirements may also come later on, and all these requirements whatever we are having, they should be mapped on this respective matrix, and this matrix when the new requirements will be coming, they also get added with this particular matrix, and these matrices help tester to know about the source of the requirement and they can be traced in forward and the backward fashion. So that is our traceability matrix document. So let me go for the first one. So that is a before testing. So here we are having this SRS document, then we are having the test policy document. There is a how far the testing will take place before the release will be handover, and then we are having this test strategy document where the different personnel who will be having which kind of responsibility, that will be decided. And after that the last one is our traceability matrix document, and there is the SDLC document where all the requirements will be mapped, and when the new requirements will be coming, so that will be also will have the entry in this traceability matrix document, and so that the respective tester can access it for the forward and for the backward tracing. So this is the part of our before testing documentation. Now this is the second one, that is our while being tested. So the following documents may be required while testing is started and is being done. So test case document. So this document contains list of tests required to be conducted, and it includes the unit test plan, integration test plan, system test plan and acceptance test plan. We discuss all these things separately in the other videos. You can watch for them so that you can have the detailed idea. So that is our test case document. So in this particular document, which includes the unit test plan, integration test plan, system test plan and the acceptance test plan. Next one is a test description. So this document is a detailed description of all the test cases and the procedures to execute them. So this is known as the test description. Next one is our test case report. This document contains test case report as a result of all the tests whatever we have carried out. So obviously we must be having a test case report where the respective results will be reflected. Next one is the test logs. This document contains test logs for every test case report. So here these are the respective documentations which will be required while being tested. So they will be generated when the testing process is in operation. So let us go for the last one. What is that one? That is the after testing. So after testing, we require one test summary documentation. So this test summary is collective analysis of all the test reports and the logs. It summarizes and it concludes if the software is ready to be launched, to be handed over to the respective customer, and the software is released under version control system if it is ready to launch right now. So in this way, there is a test summary which will be the summary of all the test reports and logs whatever we prepared in the earlier phase, that is the while being tested. So in this way, we are having our before testing documents, we are having this our while being tested documents, and this is the last one, that is the after testing documents. So in this way, in this session, we have discussed testing documents and documentations. Thanks for maintenance overview. Whenever a software will get delivered, then after also some modifications, some updations might be required, and that phase is known as the software maintenance phase. So let us discuss more on this software maintenance. So software maintenance is widely accepted part of SDLC nowadays, and it stands for all the modifications and updations done after the delivery of the software product. And there are a number of reasons why modifications are required, and some of them we have listed below. So let us go for the respective causes. So the first one we are considering is the market condition. So policies which changes over the time, such as taxation, newly introduced constraints like how to maintain bookkeeping may trigger need for the different modifications. So that's why due to the change in the government policy, due to the change in the market conditions, the maintenance might be required. Next one is our client's requirement. So over the time, the customer may ask for new features or functions in the system to get implemented and incorporated. In that cases also, the software maintenance will be required. So next one, we are going for host modifications. So if any one of the hardwares and or the platform means actually the hardware and the operating system, collectively we usually call it as a platform. So if any of the hardware and or the platform such as the operating system of the target host changes, the software changes are needed to keep the adaptability, and that's why the maintenance will be required. So there is some change in the hardware, there is some change in the operating system, there is some change in the respective drivers. So in those cases, the software maintenance might be required. Next one is the organizational changes. So organization changes. So if there is any business level change at the client end, such as the reduction of the organization strength, acquiring another company, organization venturing into some new business, need to modify in the original software may arise. So sometimes a company may be growing, sometimes a company may be shrinking, sometimes a company may be opening a new wing in which business they were not there previously. So due to some reasons, the organization changes will be there, and for that this software changes will be, some changes in the software will be required, and that's why the maintenance will be also very much necessary there. So in this way, in this particular video, we have discussed what are the different software maintenance overview. Thanks for watching. In the previous video, we have discussed what is a maintenance and what are the different sources for which the maintenance might be required. So in this video, we are concentrating on types of different maintenance activities. So in a software lifetime, the type of maintenance may vary based on its nature. It may be just a routine maintenance task as some bug discovered by some user, or it may be a large event in itself based on the maintenance size or the nature. So sometimes it may work that a particular user have found some of the problems with the software after running the software for multiple years also. So in that cases, some maintenance might be required to resolve that respective bug. But sometimes we may have a large change, huge change in the software. So there also we might be requiring maintenance. Following are some types of maintenance based on their characteristics. So let us go for different types of maintenance. The first one, that is the corrective maintenance. This includes modifications and updations done in order to correct or fix some problems, which are either discovered by the user or concluded by user error reports. So which has been detected and which has been observed and explored by the user in some included in the user error reports. So that's why we may be conducting some corrective maintenance to fix some bugs. Next one is our adaptive maintenance. So this includes modifications and updations applied to keep the software product up to date and turn to the ever changing world of technology and business environment. So that is our adaptive maintenance. So we know that our business world is changing, the world economy is also changing. So that's as a result of that, we might be requiring some adaptive maintenance so that my software, our software can cope up with the respective changes in the economics, respective changes in the market, respective changes in the government's policy. So next one, we are going to discuss perfective maintenance. This includes modifications and updates done in order to keep the software usable over long period of time. So to keep the software usable for the long period of time, this sort of maintenance will be required. So it includes new features, new user requirements for refining the software and improve its reliability and the respective performance. So this is known as predictive maintenance, which is one of the type of maintenance. Last one, we are going for the preventive maintenance. This includes modifications and updations to prevent future problems of the software. That means here we are not reactive, we are proactive. If you guess that a software might be having some problem in the coming days, we are having some symptoms we are getting. So for that purpose, we might be going for this preventive maintenance. So it aims to attend problems and which are not significant at this moment but may cause serious issues in coming future. So that is known as the preventive maintenance. So in our discussion, we have discussed what are the different types of maintenance are possible in our software. Thanks for watching this video. While calculating this cost of maintenance, so reports suggest that the cost of maintenance is high. A study on estimating software maintenance found that the cost of maintenance is as high as 67% of the cost of the entire software process cycle. So it is not a matter of joke. So 67%, that is the cost of the total software development cost, whatever we had to spend. So 67% of that cost will be spent on the maintenance. So on an average, the cost of software maintenance is more than 50% of all SDLC phases. And there are various factors which trigger maintenance cost to go high. So what are the factors? Let us go on discussing on them. So the first one is our real world factors affecting the maintenance cost. So the standard age of any software is considered up to 10 to 15 years. After that, the software would get tear out, the software would get obsolete. So other software, older software which were meant to work on slow machines with less memory and storage capacity cannot keep themselves challenging against newly coming enhanced software on the modern hardware and the respective operating systems and all. So those softwares which were capable to work on a slower machine with the older version of the hardware and the operating systems, they cannot face that challenge to work on the high configuration machines with the latest hardware and with the latest operating systems. Now, as the technology advances, it becomes costly to maintain old softwares. Most maintenance engineers are newbie and use trial and error method to rectify problems. So often changes made can easily hurt the original structure of the software, making it hard for any subsequent changes. So while doing this maintenance, we might be requiring to implement some new requirements, might be we are going for to fixing some bugs in the software detected after a long time or after delivery of the software. So sometimes it may happen that whatever the changes we are carrying out on the software may also affect the software, and later it might be hard to implement other maintenance activities on the software. So changes are often left undocumented, which may cause more conflicts in the future. When the software was developed, we had so many documentations. We are having a separate video on the software documentations you can watch. So there we are having multiple different types of documentations. Before software development, we are having one documentations. When the software is getting developed, then also we require one documentations, and after development we require another documentation. So three types of documentations are required. But after carrying out these maintenance activities, if the things are not getting reflected on the documentation, so next time the changes might be a challenge for the developers. So now we are going to discuss software end factors affecting the maintenance cost. So here we are considering four main factors. The first one is the structure of the software program, programming language in which the software has got developed, and the dependence on external environment, and staff reliability, and also the respective availability. So depending upon all these factors, the cost of maintenance of a software will be decided. Thanks for watching this video. IEEE, they have provided one framework for these maintenance activities. We are going to discuss that one, and that very maintenance activity has got multiple different phases. So let us go through that. So IEEE provides a framework for sequential maintenance process activities, and it can be used in the iterative manner and can be extended so that the customized items and the processes can also get included. So this is the respective maintenance activities, and it has got multiple different phases are there. So identification and tracing. Next one is our analysis, then design, implementation, system testing, acceptance testing, and then delivery, and we shall be having next maintenance management. So these are the different phases are there. So let us discuss one by one. So at first we are starting with this identification and tracing. So it involves activities pertaining to identification of the requirement of the modification or maintenance. So it is generated by the user or system may itself report via logs on error messages obtained. So here the maintenance type is classified also. So in this particular case, in case of identification and tracing, this particular request will be generated by the users, and that will be verified by the respective error logs and the error report, and in this particular phase, this particular maintenance type will be also categorized or classified. Next one is our analysis. The modification is analyzed for its impact on the system. So if we carry out the respective maintenance required, then what will be the impact on the system, including safety and the security implications. So if portable impact is severe, and then in that case alternative solution will be looked for. And if you find that if we carry out the straight maintenance activity on this particular system, but the effect will be severe, then in that case we should look for some alternative also. Then a set of required modifications is then materialized into requirement specifications. Now you see this particular maintenance requirement will be generated and requirement specifications will be also mentioned. The cost of modification maintenance is analyzed and estimation is concluded. Estimation means the cost estimation will be concluded. So that will be done in the analysis phase. So next one is our design phase. So new modules which need to be replaced or modified are designed against requirement specifications, so set in the previous stage, and test cases are created for validation and also for verification. So here in this case, in this particular design phase, the verification and also the validation will be done against the requirement specification set which we got in the previous stage. Next one, we are going for the implementation. So the new modules are coded with the help of structured design and created in the design step. So now we are going for the coding for the actual implementation of the maintenance process. So the new modules are coded with help of the structured design created in the design step, and every programmer is expected to do unit testing in parallel. So unit testing means that very module which will be generated, or the set of modules which are going to be generated, each and every module, each and every unit will be tested individually, giving certain set of inputs, outputs will be obtained, and that will be matched with the expected output. So in this way the unit testing will be conducted. Next we are going for the system testing. So integration testing is done among newly created modules. So now integration testing is also carried out between new modules and the system. So these new modules will get integrated with the system. So whether this integration is working fine or not, whether this pre-existing modules and this new module which has been developed for this maintenance purpose, whether the communications are done properly, whether they are getting integrated properly or not, that will be tested here. So finally the system is tested as a whole following the regression testing procedure. So you know that in case of regression testing, we are having some existing system, and where for the maintenance process we used to include some new code, new module there, and the regression testing will be checking whether this new module introduction is leaving some bad effect on the system or not. Next one, we are going for the acceptance testing. So after testing the system internally, it is tested for acceptance with the help of the users, and if at this particular state the user complains some issues, they are addressed or noted to address in the next iteration of the framework. Next one is the delivery. After acceptance test, the system is deployed all over the organization either by small update package or fresh installation of the system, and the final testing takes place at the client end after the software is delivered to them after installation. So training facility is provided if required in addition to the hard copy of the respective user manual. So these are the different phases we are having, and the last phase whatever you are having, that is the maintenance management. So configuration management is an essential part of system maintenance. So it is aided with the version control tool to control the versions and semi versions or the patch management. So in this way the maintenance management will be there. We know that each and every case the version is having two parts. One is the major version, major part, and the one is the minor part. So this version controlling tool will decide what will be the new version of that software after introduction of these new modules which got integrated with the existing system. So in this way we have discussed what are the different maintenance activities and what is that very framework which was proposed by IEEE. Thanks for watching this video.
Tutorialspoint.com